Hello, hello, welcome, and thank y'all for tuning in. Today's topic is betrayal improves discernment. I'm just sitting here enjoying my watermelon, and a thought came to me about betrayal and how it plays a great role in the discernment that we choose to abide by. So there's red flags. There's red flags everywhere. We just tend to ignore them sometimes. Just as there's red flags, there's green flags everywhere. There's always a lesson to be learned. There's always a blessing from the lesson. Okay, so these things are not just one-offs that are happening. There's a lesson. There's warnings. You can adhere to them or you can ignore them. Discernment and intuition go hand in hand. So, the thing with intuition is that we tend to doubt it. We like to ask others for reassurance, but we already know the answer. How many times have you asked someone for proof or reassurance about a situation, but you already knew deep down what it already was, or what you already knew what was going on, put it that way, but you still had to ask someone else for proof so that you can validate what it is that you're feeling. All right, sort of a way of ignoring the red flags that you feel and that you see, because you have to check in with someone else just to double check. We tend to doubt our intuition. Discernment is a gift, but that's not to say that it can't be learned over time. You can pick up on discernment. You can pick up using your intuition. So although some people, like myself, are born with discernment, a strong sense of discernment, I do believe that everyone has that intuition within them. You just have to tune into it, pay attention to it, don't ignore the signs, and just be hyper aware, especially if you want to improve. Now let's talk about betrayal and how that improves discernment. And excuse me if you hear me chomping on my watermelon, but it's so good. Seeded watermelon too. Get with it. Okay, so the first important thing to know is that high value people are not going to be the ones that betray you. Only low value people are going to betray you. And I know that may sound kind of bougie to say, or, you may say, oh, that sounds like you think you're better than somebody. No, it doesn't. You have to get really serious about who you allow in your life. And some people are going to provide you very low quality experiences. And those are the low value people. People who have no loyalty. People who have no moral code about the way they move. They're just out there. They'll do anything to you to get ahead. They're opportunists. They tend to betray anyone in their path because they don't value people. Those high value people, those are the ones that you want to keep in your life. They follow a moral code. Okay? They have a sense of self-respect. They respect themselves and they respect you. They treat people how they want to be treated. So when I say low value people, I mean those people that will not provide you a good quality of life. They just won't. They won't give you a good quality experience. They could never give you a friendship because eventually they're going to betray you. They're going to walk away without a thought. They're going to stab you in the back. They're not going to think twice about it. They're going to be on to the next. On to the next person's life to destroy that, or get what they can for as long as they can, and then they're going to proceed to move on. They move on. They don't tend to keep people around for long because they don't value anything about people. People are just an experience for them to advance, for them to use, get what they want from them. So you get the point about low value people. So everything that I just kind of said, that will tell you who's low value. And you want to keep these people from around you because they're going to betray you. They will betray you. It's only a matter of time. Get those people from around you, and you won't be dealing with a whole bunch of betrayal. But in the meantime, you have to discern, use your intuition, and you have to scope these people out. You have to know who they are. So that means you have to pay attention to people's red flags. Do not ignore them. Now, most women are ruled by guilt. It's very unfortunate, but how most of us were brought up, we always tend to feel bad for people, myself included. That's how I've got in the past. Every time I felt bad for someone, I have got. And it's almost safe to say that low quality people sometimes make you feel sorry for them. They play a role. They try to, make you feel guilty for them. They might pretend to be sad all the time or going through something, whereas though you feel the need to hop in and save them and assist them. And you start to feel bad for these people. And that's not to say that everyone who's in need is a low value person. But what I'm saying is, most of the people that I can think back to that have betrayed me, who were low value people, I felt bad for them at some point. And that's why I helped them, or that's why I stuck my neck out for them, only to get played in the end. So it goes without saying, that's a red flag to look out for. Women, since we know that we tend to feel guilty or feel bad for picking up on our intuition, thinking something about someone and then backtracking because we feel bad and think, oh, maybe I'm being too harsh, or, oh, no, maybe that was, maybe I took it the wrong way. That's a red flag right there. Think about it really hard and deep. Is this someone who I need to feel bad for? Did they put themselves in this situation? Are they trying to rope me in so that I can feel guilty for them? Or are they coming with genuine intentions? Someone who's always in a crisis. I talked about crisis people in my last vlog. Someone who's always going through a crisis. Always broke. That's another red flag. They're always complaining about money. Major red flag. So, since we know this, when we recognize that these people are of low value, we have to learn how to detach and move on. We can't keep these people around because of history. We can't keep these people around because we feel bad for them. That only gets you burned in the end. So I've learned. This is what I've learned now from firsthand experience. I have so many experiences of this, to the point where now in 2024, I honestly feel like nobody could get me, because I'm just that resilient. I'm that aware. I listen to my discernment. Once the red flags go up, that person will see smoke coming from my shoes because that's just how fast I'm getting from around them. I don't entertain low value people. Detaching and moving on is the best thing that you can do for yourself in hopes that they will, leave you alone and you don't have to take any protective measures against them, like calling the police or, because they can drag you down. Low value people can potentially drag you down. A high value person is not even going to put you in that situation. So if you notice, for example, that you've been around someone and your life has just been a downward slope since you met this person. I know I've been around a particular person and I said, I didn't have any problems until I started entertaining this person. It's like they just brought problems my way. I had to get from around them. I had to detach quickly. And detach means to let them go. Stop talking to them. Stop entertaining them. Slowly let the relationship just fade away because it's not worth it if it's bringing you down. So, women, I'm talking to you now. We have to learn how to avoid feeling guilty. A lot of men don't have this problem. They will move on quickly. You will ask a man, "Hey, do you still talk to so and so?" And they'll tell you, "Nah, he crazy." Because they just can detach that quick, and we have to learn the art of detachment because it could save us a lot in the end, particularly women who find themselves in relationships with men who they feel sorry for. They're guilted into doing more and more and more for them. It gets sad, and in the end, these types of people will betray you. It's only a matter of time. So it's good to just nip it in the bud, notice them for who they are, and move on. And when we talk about detaching and moving on, I understand sometimes it's hard to set yourself free from the fantasy. And that fantasy is how you thought that things should be. Like someone, for example, may have a hard time setting themselves free from the fantasy. Oh, but this is my bestie. This is my best friend. Everyone needs a best friend that they can confide in. Well, let me tell you, your best friend better be of high value, or that best friend is not your true friend. And what I mean by that is if they are a low value person, they're going to betray you in the end. They have no loyalty to you. So make sure that your best friend, someone who you are best friends with, they are best friends back to you, if you get my drift. You're best friends to each other. Because the worst thing you can do is walk around here giving your friendship and your loyalties to someone who is not giving it back in return. It's a one-sided relationship, and that person is a low-value person, which means they do not make a good friend. So, intuition is the ability to quickly understand something without conscious reasoning. So, why do we doubt it? Because we're crazy. Even when you're younger, you have intuition. But when you're younger, you tend to question it more. I've found the more that I've lived, the more that I listen to my intuition the first time. I don't doubt it. Here's why. Because asking people for proof or validation to get that reassurance when I already know what my intuition is trying to tell me, that's me ignoring God. You can't ask people for proof because people are not God. So discernment and intuition They're spiritual. They're spiritual gifts from God. Other people don't have the answers. Now, you can ask them all day, do you think this or do you think that? It's what they think. Okay? Once you've gotten that alert, that flag from God, that's what you need to roll with. And sometimes I think people may ask for proof because if it doesn't turn out to be favorable, they want to be able to blame someone else. So let's just keep it real right there. That's probably the reason why you need validation. So you can throw it on someone else. See, I knew I should have listened to you. How many times have you said that or thought that? So just ponder on that. People can't confirm what you feel. So stop asking for their permission. All right, so let's go back to the point that usually high value people won't betray you. They follow a certain moral code. They are very truthful. They are very trustworthy. They are very loyal. They say what they mean and they mean what they say. I don't know about you, but that's the only type of people I want around me. Those are the only type of people that I would trust with my life, or who I feel won't waste my time. If I'm not trusting them with my life, at least I feel like those type of people won't waste my time because they're truthful. Now, when you step into the lower value person, they're going to waste your time. If not by, standing you up, they're going to waste your time by lying and feeding you sob stories. They play games with you, all in the attempt for you to issue assistance to them. They're lazy. They're lazy people. All right, so why wouldn't they betray you? Why wouldn't they betray you? They learn how to use people as pawns in their life. So when I say get away from those low value people, I say that because you do not want to be at the receiving end of their BS. You don't want to be there. It's not a good place to be. All right, so let's drive it back to my point that betrayal improves discernment. Over time, when you've experienced betrayal, especially like I have, you learn from each of those experiences and you learn to draw from those experiences. People who are low value tend to have some of the same patterns. They have some of the same patterns. So you may find yourself saying, I done been through this before. I've heard this before. I've experienced this before. You can pick up on it right away. That betrayal improves your sixth sense, which is your discernment. I said that because some people see discernment as like a sixth sense. It helps. Over time, you grow wiser and you learn to pick up on things quicker. The first time you may have been bamboozled, but you can't keep getting bamboozled the same way over and over again. Unless you're a fool. Unless you're just a fool. Or you just are out here living oblivious. You pick up on patterns. You pick up on habits. You pick up on things that seem to be familiar. And you realize, nope, I don't want to go down this road. I don't want to go down this road. So listen to that. Don't keep torturing yourself and experiencing the same types of BS over and over again. Learn from that betrayal. Let it improve your discernment over time. Let it teach you that these are the signs of a person who is here to wreck my peace and my sanity. And I'm not having it. And you move along. You move along. Now, I have tons of stories, tons of betrayal. Why? Because I am my mother's daughter. And although her and I are totally different, I have picked up her friendly gene, so to speak. I don't know what else to call it, but I've picked up her friendly gene. So I always say my mom is almost friends with everyone. She can make friends with everyone. And I used to kind of just go with that because I picked that up. I can get along with anybody. I can get along with anybody. But where we differ is that I learned from an early age I can't stay friends with everyone. I just can't. So that's kind of where we differ because I start off liking you. I may start off liking you. Now, it's not going to stay that way. And I'm not going to stick around and make up excuses as to why I have to keep liking you, especially if I notice that you are a low value person. I'm going to get out of there. And that's just that. And I don't go through life just dumping people off or ghosting them. That's not my way. But what I'm saying is I don't pick up any more friends who are of low value because I don't like to deal with those experiences. I don't have time for it. Okay? My time is valuable. My friendship is valuable. I don't want to bring certain people into my life because bringing certain people into your life can affect those around you who you love. Because naturally, you're going to form a circle. You're going to form a tribe. And then you have fraudulent people in your circle. You're introducing these low-value people to your high-value people. And then they're dragging them down. They're like a fungus. They're like a fungus. So you don't want them anywhere around you or your people. It's a couple of months left in 2024. It's about to be 2025. I just, if you're listening, I just want you to get better. I want you to get better, not worse. I want you to get better, and I want you to stop allowing people to betray you without warning. And the only way that you can cease that is to keep certain people at bay. Don't let them get too close to you. That's the only way. I don't think that I'm untouchable, but I can say the last time I really let someone betray me seriously was probably in 2014 that I can remember. The rest of them that happened, I can kind of see them coming. After 2014, I could see it coming. I discerned it before it happened. I picked up on all of the warning signs, and I kind of just drifted or had it made up in my mind that this person was going to betray me. I knew it. I could see it coming. So I would say 10 years ago was the last time that a betrayal took me by surprise. And that's a gift. That is a gift because that means that I've experienced so much betrayal in the past that I learned how to pick up on it. I've learned how to spot it coming. And I've learned how to keep people who are capable of betraying me away from me. They can't get that close anymore. And it's not that I have a wall up. I'm very open. I'm very open to how I value people. But I'm also very closed off to those who have low value. And I know it's a gift. I know it's a gift. Because the people in my life now, we may not continue to talk every day or keep the same relationship because things change, dynamics change. But at least I know that they would not commit 9 times out of 10. Now, I'm not going to promise anything because I'm not in these people's bodies or minds. But 9 times out of 10, they are not going to betray me to a certain degree because they're not those types of people. And for that, I'm very grateful. I'm very confident. I'm confident in my circle. I'm confident in my circle. I'm very confident in the people that I keep around me. And I just want everyone to experience that at some point. Y'all take care.